Daren Falter here, networkmarketingbook.com. We've shed the overcoat and the boots and we're back in the office. I call this the Eagle's Nest. We're up here on the third story and this is what we were just out in. It's beautiful out there, but it's a lot warmer in here. I think we're going to finish all of our training videos from up here. Okay, now for the moment you've all been waiting for. I've been teasing you for a couple of days that I'm going to share with you the 3 principles for massive success in network marketing. Here they are, no more delays. I'm going to share them with you right now, and we're going to start off with the old adage, success leaves clues. Well, success leaves clues, so does failure. And if you want to understand the principles of success, we need to also understand the principles of failure. So let's start with failure for a minute. And let's talk about the number one reason for failure in network marketing. And what I call it is putting the cart before the horse. Now let me explain this because this is so critically important and I wish somebody would have explained this to me. It would have saved me years of frustration. It would save me tens of thousands of dollars. I had to figure this all out on my own and it took me literally years and massive amounts of effort to get over it. Now that I've gotten through it, I've actually written a book on the subject and I've done seminars and it really turned out to be a blessing in disguise, but it was very frustrating when I went through it. Here it is. Well, let me explain it to you this way. It's going to be a little bit of a shock factor here. Have you ever been to a network marketing generic seminar and heard from people like Richard Brook or Bob Berg, Robert Butwin, Jerry Clark, Michael Klaus, Jeffrey Combs, Todd Falcone, Doug Firebaugh? Some of these guys are my close friends. John Milton Fogg, Randy Gage, Danny Johnson, Hilton Johnson, Art Jonak, Kim Claver, Brian Clemmer, Michael Oliver, Tim Sales, Big Gal Tom Schreider, the list goes on, Max Steingard, Jack Zufelt. If you did attend any of these guys' trainings, or these gals, you probably wasted valuable time and hard-earned money. Now, before you start throwing rotten fruit at me and sending me nasty email and rebuking me for trashing your favorite heroes, please don't pause the video. Let me explain where I'm coming from here. Okay, so all of these previously mentioned gurus are the absolute best of the best. They're the cream of the crop, tip top. They're absolutely unselfish with their time and energy. They've helped thousands and thousands of people have success in this industry. So why am I being so hard on them? Well, I'm not being hard on them, I'm being hard on you. It's not them we're worried about, it's you. These trainings are fantastic, but you've jumped the gun. You're going to training too soon. You're putting the cart before the horse. You've spent money on trainings that will teach you how to build your current MLM, and your current MLM isn't going to be around in 3 years. Okay? It doesn't matter how many times you straighten the chairs on the Titanic, the boat is still going down with you on it. Now, I know I don't want to discourage people because, you know, this isn't about making you feel bad about the company you selected, but chances are, if you've picked a company without any kind of help or experience in the industry, or if you haven't had any kind of background in this industry, you're probably in an organization that's not going to last. Yeah, it's disheartening. Yes, it's discouraging, but understand that I've been through it really a dozen times over my 20-year career. It took me 7 tries to get it right on my first. As a matter of fact, I failed 6 times in selecting a company. I had figured out how to build a business. My venture, I think my number 5 network marketing company, I put 120, 130 people into that business. It was growing and building and gaining momentum. And then I realized I just couldn't represent it anymore for a number of different reasons. And I kept going from company to company after 6 months realizing that I'd picked the wrong deal. And it's really disheartening when you realize that you're in a company that either is going to be out of business or it's a company that may stay in business, but you just can't represent it because you don't feel that you morally can accept their principles. Maybe their compensation plan isn't fair. Maybe their product just doesn't work, or maybe it has some dangerous ingredients. Maybe the management isn't ethical and you found out something that you didn't know, and all of a sudden you have a real hard time putting your name behind something. Well, it happens all the time. And so I decided, before I spend all this time getting trained and getting, information on how to build a business, I want to learn how to select the right company, because this is going to save me years of time, thousands of dollars, and tons of effort. Okay, I don't want to insult your intelligence with this next little part. I'm just going to have a little fun with it, but just play like we're having an intervention, like a drug intervention. You got all your friends around on a couch and they're trying to tell you something that you don't want to hear. We'll call this Daren's cash flow intervention. It's just between you and me. Play like we're best friends, and I'm going to sit you down and say, listen, some things got to change here. It's your best friend, your BFF, and here's what I need to tell you. You probably don't have the knowledge, you probably don't have the expertise or the time or the money or the connections or the contacts to select the right company right now, okay? Chances are you don't. Now, some of you have tremendous experience in the industry, you have great connections, you have all the money in the world, and so you have time to spend, really finding the best company. But the minute you start dragging other people into your deal, you realize that you have a huge responsibility. So, you need some help. And this is the type of help that I needed 17 years ago when I was starting out my career. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the help. As a matter of fact, I had to take it on myself because nobody was helping me. Nobody had the information. There wasn't any kind of resource manual out there for selecting a company. And I had a reality check there back 17 years ago, and here's the 3 things that I learned from this reality check. Reality check number 1 was that no one was going to save me from my current financial situation. I had to save myself. So that was my first reality check. Number 2 reality check. There were no resources available whatsoever on how to select the best network marketing company. I would have to do the research myself. Once I did that research, of course, it became popular information because nobody had really done it to the extent that I had, and so I actually was encouraged to publish a book on it, and that's what started that other side of my business. But I had to do that research. Nobody was going to do it for me. It didn't exist at the time. Third reality check is if you want to select the best company, you need to look at all the rest of the companies. If you want the best compensation plan, if you want the best product line, if you want the best management team, you can't just go to an opportunity meeting, pick a company based upon some charismatic up in front of the room telling you how great a product is, and start telling people it's the best product in the world. You can say it's a great product, you can say that it helped you, but you can't say it's the best. If you're saying it's the best, it's a total lie, because you can't say something's the best unless you've looked at all the rest. So I realized I had a huge responsibility there. I realized that if I was going to be able to make that bold statement that I had looked at, all the companies and I selected the best company, I literally had to go through and look at all the companies. My original study was over 200 different network marketing companies. Since that time, I've studied over 200 more. Now I've glanced and looked at thousands of companies over time, but it takes a lot of time and effort to go through a company and evaluate it. So I've probably looked at about 400 or 500 companies now very carefully, studied their compensation plans, studied their management teams, and I continue to look at deals. But I won't even look at a company until it's a certain number of years old and until it fits certain criteria. Because otherwise, that's all I'd be doing. I'd be spending dawn till dusk looking at these startup companies that aren't even going to be around in 3 months, or 6 or 9 or 12, or maybe 2 or 3 years. They're going to go out of business. So that's been my career in my industry for years, along with building businesses as an independent distributor. I've also been conducting studies and research on network marketing companies with some of my network marketing consultant buddies like Len Clements and others who really understand the companies in this industry and can compare and contrast.